Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kyle. Oh, he's not here, so I got to do it myself. This is Knockouts in Three Counts, and we're here once again with a brand new episode of Podcast Gold. I'm here solo for right now. I'm waiting for the rest of the guys to get here. I'm the only one that loves the show anymore. But while I'm waiting for them, let me go ahead and throw out our social media and all that good stuff. You can check us out on ko3cpod.com. There you will find all of our social media. I'll say it anyway. KL3CPod on Twitter, KL3CPod on Instagram as well. Make sure you check out the Facebook page. While you're on Facebook, also check out Reality Era News. It's our Facebook group where we talk wrestling. And you can find me personally, Devin McKenzie, on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHE63. You can find me on Instagram at Allsteak, no sizzle. That's one word. So, I don't have the rest of the team here. I'm riding solo for right now. They're supposed to be coming in a little bit later. We'll have them do their introductions when they get here. But I've got a three-time guest on the show. Uno, dos, tres.
Wow.
The masked wonder himself. Hailing from planet Detroit. Ladies and gentlemen, the mysterious Movado. What's going on, man?
What's happening? Knockouts and three coats. No steak, no sizzle.
Oh, man. Thank you for reminding me about that, man. Check out All Steak No Sizzle, too, my other podcast.
Check it out.
But this is your third time on the show, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man, where does the time go?
I know. It's almost like you love us a little bit, man.
I do kind of have some love.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
definitely.
that. So, why don't you let the people know where they can follow you on social media?
Ooh, the social medias. Well, on Facebook, The Mysterious Movado. Please search it out. On the Instagram, at Mysterious Movado, and on the Twitter, at BNU2. That's BNU, the word number, and the number 2.
All right. You have any shows coming up that the people can come check you out here,
Oh,
especially
man.
here in the Michigan area?
Let me just say the calendar remains full for the Mysterious one on the Mysterious Evolution Tour 2K18. Just finished up an excellent event for XICW Proving Ground, a huge event for Wrestling and Respect down in Lima. But coming up this next weekend, we've got an appearance for the Missile Dropkick Wrestling Association. And we've also got the big event at the Masonic Temple on Sunday, Attack at the Masonic.
That's September 16th, I believe.
September the 16th, this Sunday in Detroit, Michigan, when XICW invades the Masonic Temple. And it's about to get mysterious up in that piece.
Yes, sir. Knockouts and Three Counts will be represented at that show.
That's right. And then, I'm going to jump on stage behind the drums, or the drums, as I like to say, on Saturday the 22nd with Her Dark Host. So that's going to be an excellent event.
Ooh.
And then we've got, what do we've got? Another excellent event from Wrestling and Respect on the 29th.
Where's that?
That is in Indiana, actually. It's
okay.
a cancer benefit that's coming up here. October the 6th, we have a very special event for the Cassidy Christie Memorial up in Bay City. It's for Tri-Cities Championship Wrestling. And everybody knows that, Impact's going to be in town, of course.
Oh, yeah.
That next day in Belleville, they'll be across the border.
That's
at the Diamondback Saloon.
I would say I'll probably be at that show.
Yeah, so I'm about to be there. You never know what's going to happen there. And then, of course, XICW returns to Cobo.
The big show.
The big show, October the 13th. So definitely looking forward to a bunch of great events coming up and mystifying the humans one at a time.
All right. Well, let's talk about a couple of those shows real quick. Let's start off with the October 13th show. That's going to be at, like I said, Diamondback Saloon in Belleville. If you haven't been there, it's off of 94. It's on the service drive. I forget what the exit is, but you can Google it. You can find it. A lot of the people from Impact Wrestling are going to be there. I know Kiera Hogan will be there, Jimmy Jacobs, Congo Kong, many others. What can you tell us about that show and wrestling? And have you ever wrestled at Diamondbacks before?
Diamondback Saloon is an excellent event. It's very, or rather a venue, I should say. It's a great venue for pro wrestling. It's got great lighting. It's got a great feel. It's very intimate, and it's got really a cool tiered type of a seating type of a situation. So the last time when Impact was there, I was a part of that event with Border City Wrestling, and looking forward to hopefully be a part of that again. Just kind of lending my hand and my mask to whatever may be needed, whether it be in a match, whether it be in some other type of situation. So I'm just kind of ready to do whatever's asked of me.
Right.
And enjoy the show. I know that they always bring it. I mean, they bring all the top events to that promotion. I mean, they really kind of bring the names. So Scott D'Amore knows what he's doing. It's going to be an excellent time. I think all the humans should plan on attending, and that's Sunday, October the 7th.
Wait, that's the 7th or the 13th?
That's the 7th.
You're right. You are right.
October 13th is Kobo.
Kobo is October 13th.
Right.
October 7th, you're going to be at Diamondback Saloon. I've been there before, and I drove past there a couple of days ago, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how are they going to put a wrestling event in there? But like you said, it has a tiered setup there, so I can see how it's going to work out.
Yeah, it works. It's really cool.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm especially looking forward to meeting Miss Kira Hogan. I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah. So she's an excellent wrestler, coming up on the scene. And like this, and I even hesitate to say women's wrestling, right? Because, I mean, it's all wrestling at this point.
Right.
But, what's happening with all the talent and the female talent, it's been incredible. You're seeing a lot of really great workers, period, that are coming onto the scene. And it's really cool. It's creating a whole different environment.
Right.
And I think people are still wrestling with that, to some extent. And I dig it. I totally dig it, man. There's so many great female talents out there, and she's definitely one of them. I mean, she's lighting the world on fire. So
yeah, I was. And I don't know if it's because she's signed with Impact now, but I was hoping that when they did the Mae Young Classic again with WWE, I was hoping that she would get a spot in there. But probably because she's contracted with Impact right now, probably wasn't able to do it. But I would love to see her one day in WWE and in the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
But the next weekend on the 13th, Kobo. XICW's big show.
Yes.
Young lady that's in the Mae Young Classic this year, Mercedes Martinez, is going to be there. Have you ever had any interactions with Mercedes?
She's incredible. Years ago, we performed on the Gathering of the Juggalos together.
Really?
And I actually filled. They didn't have anybody to do the announcing, so it'd actually be the announcing who was coming to the ring and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I actually filled in, for the ladies show that they were doing for Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Wait, it was an all-lady show?
It was all ladies.
Wow.
So they had, at that time they had different, they had more of a hardcore event, the Bloody Mania, and then they had the ladies event, and they just had different tiers of the Juggalo wrestling. Right. But yeah, the ladies event was awesome. I mean, they had Antisocial, Mercedes. I'm trying to think who else they had at the time. But I mean, really all the top names, they always bring them in. But she was excellent. And I mean, watching her at Kobo, her match with Mia Yim was incredible.
Big fan of Mia Yim as well.
They tore it down. I mean, that's one of the best matches of that card. I mean, period. When you just look at the wrestling of it. So Brian Gorey was definitely instrumental in helping to bring that match to Kobo. And XICW always wants to highlight kind of the best there is out there, and I think they did a great job with that. And I'm really excited that she's coming back because that's going to be great.
Do you know if XICW is doing the convention this time, or is it just going to be the show?
From what I understand, it's going to be more of a not so much a traditional convention, but more of a meet and greet.
Okay.
Opportunity where they're going to open it up and have that VIP type of experience, but as opposed to having kind of a prolonged all-day situation where there's a schedule to fill and an agenda and itinerary type of a situation. I think that probably looking at things and learning and trying to move forward, I think it was probably best to do it in have some of these awesome, great names that they're bringing in and just have the ability to kind of meet them before the show as a VIP experience. And I think that's probably wise. I think that's what they're going to go with. So it should be a really good time. I look forward to being there as well, to meet all my humans and say hi to my buddy Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that, man. Have you ever had the chance to meet Ultimo Dragon? And
I have, yeah. And I go back several years, actually.
Really?
Years ago when Revolucha was running in Detroit.
Good old Revolucha.
Yeah, we used Ultimo Dragon on a couple of occasions.
I'm mad I completely forgot about this, but I've talked to you before. I told you how I've actually been to the Revolucha event, and I literally about a month ago found my ticket stub from Revolution. I wanted to bring it in for you, have you sign it, but I completely forgot about it until now, man.
Well, I got your back whenever you remember it.
Okay, I'll probably bring it this Sunday.
Yeah.
September 16th.
Yeah, there you go. But Ultimo, what a gentleman. He is a true, a real like living legend, right? In that sense of he just kind of transcends from one style to the other. And he is an incredible enigma. You know, he is something that I think all generations can kind of look at and watch and be wowed with.
Right.
You know, even to this very day, when he works now. So I saw him as recently as back in May when I was in Mexico.
Right.
When I worked for him at the Dragon Mania event.
Oh, that was his event.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's called Dragon Mania.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the Ultimo Dragon's big yearly event that he does at Arena Mexico. So that was incredible. But yeah, you know, he's a smart businessman.
Right.
He really has an incredible brand that's global. And yeah, he's someone that has my utmost respect.
And right now I've been listening to a lot of Eric Bischoff's podcast, 83 Weeks, talking about, you know, the cruiserweights and basically that whole 83-week run of WCW versus WWE. And I've gone back and watched a lot of those old matches from those days and watching Ultimo Dragon back then and seeing the amazing things he was able to do then and then know that he's still wrestling now.
Yeah.
Like, how old is Ultimo Dragon now, man?
You know, I'll tell you what, to look at him, you wouldn't think he was over 40.
Wow.
Looks great. I mean, he looks phenomenal.
Wow.
But again, I'd just be pure speculation on his age. Listen, I don't want to do that kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there's a reason why we all wear a mask. You know, we don't necessarily need to know how old we all are.
We'll say he's forever young.
I think so. I mean, the Ultimo Dragon is something that as long as he's able to, you know, physically continue with it, I think he will. He's having a great time. I think he does incredible business on the independents. And from what I understand, it's, you know, some of the discussions that, you know, we've had, it's better for him to avoid, you know, a contract type of situation. I think he said as much on other podcasts that I've heard him on. So,
okay.
I mean, and that's great because that's just, again, that's indicative. We were kind of talking on one of my other visits how big the independents are right now.
Right.
And it's the fact that somebody like an Ultimo Dragon can, you know, continue his legacy, continue his brand, have fun, and be able to communicate with his fans on a global level independently.
Right.
And I think that's fantastic. That is such a cool thing, you know, that we all, you know, should strive to get to. Of course, you got to have that big time success.
Exactly.
First, right? But he's definitely had that and then some.
Exactly.
You know, so he's incredible, man. What a true gentleman as well. You know, what a pro.
Well, you mentioned one of your past visits. I think on one of your past visits, we talked about All In. And All In just happened 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
I think it was
a couple weeks back, yeah.
And did you get a chance to watch All In?
I didn't see all of it, and it's terrible. I've just been really busy, but I've been able to see some portions of it and see some of my friends participating, which was awesome. What a great piece of business, huh?
Right. I was about to say, well, so
I mean, it was like it gave you goosebumps. I felt like that in every moment that I was able to sneak a peek at. It was pretty incredible to think what they were able to do, and I think again it just speaks volumes of what can be done when you have the right mix of talent and willingness to provide a product to the people that they truly are asking for. So,
right.
So in other words, so many times in wrestling, and I mean, we're even trained this, to leave them wanting.
Right.
You know, not necessarily give them everything, but the way society's kind of going and the way things are going, I mean, like when we've got fans that are so active and so participatory in what we do, you know, the fans are just as much a part of the show now.
Right.
And I feel that All In is an example of that and just coming to fruition. Like the fans demanded it.
Exactly.
You know, and they were just as much a part of it. And so it was incredible to see kind of like the evolution of, you know, and I dare to kind of, I don't really call that an independent show.
Really?
I don't, just because you've got people that are making six figures and under contract and on TV.
Okay.
that are putting that show together.
Right.
What's independent about it is that, and of course it had much help from Ring of Honor, of course.
Of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
but even all that being, put to the side, when on an independent level do you see that kind of production or access to that kind of production, right?
Exactly.
You don't.
And that's one thing I was surprised about.
That's where I do caution people. It's like, hold the horses in terms of like, that's, I take umbrage with the statement of this is what happens when the entire independence gets together to put on a show. That is not what happened. Because if that's what happened, All In would have been a failure. Because all the independents getting together and all the egos involved, it just never would have happened.
And I'll say this too, and I'm glad you actually said that, because if you look at it, there was definitely a lot of, I guess you would say, talent that's not signed by, as people call it, the Federation. But there was also guys that made their name in the Federation. You had a Billy Gunn there. You had a Bubba, well, what's his name? What's he going by now? Bully Ray. Yeah, he's going by Bully Ray now. You had people that had a name there.
Rey Mysterio.
Right? In
your main event.
Exactly. But the fact that they didn't, even though Ring of Honor did have a big part of it, it really wasn't an actual federation that was putting this together. It wasn't really a lot of storylines put on by a show or a company themselves. Yeah, the being the elite show, they had a lot of storylines that fed into it.
Right, which is cool. And I think that is so cool.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. But
right.
I enjoyed it. I'm a little upset because I wasn't able to get tickets for it because it sold out in 30 minutes, which to me let me know that, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And then
opens the doors for so many other things.
Exactly. Right? And then the convention that they had before that, the Starcast. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get a chance to go to that. And
it looked great by all the pictures. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, do you think? And basically, you were saying that you don't feel like this was like really an independent. Do you think a lot of independent wrestlers could get together and put on a big show and it truly be independent?
No. Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, look who decided to show up.
Look here, I had to pick him up.
So I just say no because too many cooks spoil the kitchen.
Right.
I don't know. Too many cooks in the kitchen spoils the whatever that you're cooking. I don't know. I said that wrong.
we got
but
too many cooks in the kitchen.
It's just been my experience that you can usually get a few together, right, that are pretty like-minded, but to get something of that scale, you need money. You need access to that kind of production. I mean, when we were running Revolucha, do you think that Josh Movado was running Revolucha out of his own pocket? I mean, like the production costs to bring El Santo and La Parca and a cage at the Majestic Theater or these shows with Ultimo Dragon at the Royal Oak Music Theater.
Sabu,
Mil Mascaris, Black Tiger, Dr. Wagner Jr.,
Rey Mysterio
Sr., like Jerry Lynn, Curry Man. I mean, come on, man. It goes on and on. Like,
right.
That's a lot of money. You just have to do the math.
Right.
Even if you don't know what these guys get paid, you got to know that they get paid a lot.
Yeah, especially if they're coming in from other countries. Yeah, you got to.
So, and I'm just talking talent and flights and hotel. Let alone you want to talk about lighting and sound.
Pyro.
And LED video walls that no independent company other than like Ring of Honor, which is, again, I hesitate to call independent because they're backed by a major backer.
Right.
But who would have access to that? And that show, while the talent would have still been awesome, that production of that pay-per-view would have not been any of that, like without that.
Right.
Right? It just makes sense. So without those cameras, without all that, and that's just something that I think that people just forget about. Like they forget about that. When they go to an independent show at your local, let's say, Knights of Columbus Hall or even a concert hall, like the amount of effort and DIY, do it yourself, like punk rock, you know what I mean, type of a situation that you have to get together. You need a whole team together to do it.
Right.
And when you're talking about multiple promotions and all these egos and all that trying to get together, like who's going to pay for this? Is it going to be fair? I don't want to split the flight with this guy. Does it happen? Yes. But on the scale of an All In, maybe I've just had too much experience in this, but I am an optimist. But I'm just gonna have to be a realist, and I don't think that, if you don't have a Cody, if you don't have a Young Bucks,
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. I mean, these guys. First of all, Cody is beyond an independent, and then you've got the Young Bucks. Same thing. They've crossed over into the mainstream.
Right.
They are so far beyond an independent at this point. And I think everybody knows that, but I think it's cool to think that they're independent.
Right.
Right. And it's so differently skewed than when you go to see like Tony Thunder, or when you go to see the Rat Pack.
Who's that?
Or when you go to see, you know what I mean? Or when you go to see your local wrestler at a mall,
right,
or something.
At a rec center,
to put yourself on that same level, I think is wrong. I'm
okay.
just going to go out there and say that. So
okay. Well, I'm going to ask one more question. Then we'll get Kyle and Kevin, who decided to join us. You guys think of your questions. I'm going to ask one more question about All In. A lot of people after All In were talking about the historical impact of it. Some people were saying this is huge for the business. This is one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. A lot of hyperbole. What are your thoughts on the impact of All In? And then how does that impact the show that they're going to be doing in Madison Square Garden WrestleMania weekend?
I absolutely agree with all of that in terms of it opened up, it put a lot of the talent that was on the event, which is some incredible talent.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible talent and a wide variety of talent, right? Like it put so many new eyes on the talent. And so now it helps them, so much more to be able to get bookings outside and to be able to build their own brands. And it's just like, it's just a domino effect, right? It's just kind of like the pebble drops in the water and just ripples.
Oh yeah.
And I do think that, the major event with that Madison Square Garden that you're referring to. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe AAA also has an event.
They do. WrestleMania weekend.
So, pardon me, I'm not feeling all that well. I'm a little under the earth weather. Just so everybody knows, that's why my voice is a little bit
The
weird.
atmosphere is not agreeing with you right now.
Right. But I feel that's going to be just as much of a success. I think that Ring of Honor is very smart in their use of international talent, and that kind of talent and their homegrown talent, as well as former, international superstars in their own right that they've already built. It's that magical stew,
right?
And I feel like they've set the precedent now. Like All In is. It's
like
happened.
You see, it can be done.
So
and not
successful.
Only that, they were able to bring in that StarCast thing too, man. To do that and make it basically like a whole weekend, like the whole WrestleMania thing on their own. I think it's kind of cool.
They're a major product. And without ever having run an event.
And then not to piggyback off of WrestleMania too and do it on their own. That's some major thing too.
You're right.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yep.
Not to mention, the other cool thing with that is like. Not only has it turned into like a weekend, you've also got, they're all standalone. They sold everything out without the card even being produced yet.
Right.
Like that was one of the more amazing things to me. Like they didn't have a card. Like
not a main event.
The only match they had announced at that point at the press conference was Cody versus Nick Aldis.
But what they did have, was they had millions of disjointed and alienated wrestling fans. Is what they had.
Sound like you're talking about me.
Okay?
He's definitely.
And they had multiple thousands of these fans willing to cough up that money in a split second if only it would shut Roman Reigns up. No,
it's true.
Listen, let's be real.
It's true.
Definitely. Let's talk about it. We're jumping to that next.
That is it. Okay, so without Cody, without the Bucks, and without the fact that people they just want to hate Roman Reigns, whatever it is, whatever poor Roman Reigns has done to people, I don't know. But this poor guy, everybody hates him. All right, and they just want to show their disdain. Ooh, we're gonna show you, and of course they love Cody, and why wouldn't they? They're awesome, right? They're incredible.
Right.
But without that dynamic, that's it. That's why that's boom. It was like the gauntlet was laid down, right? It was like I'm the only one that can sell that kind of number. Oh, really?
The
It's
crazy
like,
part is, dude.
all the wrestling fans were like just opening their wallets. They were like, where do I call? Let me see.
Oh,
here.
it ain't no secret, bro. We tried to get those tickets too.
Yeah, I was just telling him, I was pissed, man. Like, we tried, and then it would go on like that, man.
But
We could have gotten tickets late, but it would have been too late.
just speaks to the point, right?
But
So
yeah.
it's a different dynamic now because now you have fans truly affecting, people that used to be ignored. I mean, WWE
In a way, still are.
for the most part, right? It has kind of a policy of you just kind of get, we're going to do what we're going to do, and you're going to like it. And if you don't like it for now, we might listen to a few things, but you're eventually going to like it.
That's the old school Carney mentality.
Yeah, we're gonna
we're
hammer
gonna
it
tell
down.
you what
Right,
you
right.
like.
You got it.
Like, you might stop watching, but you'll be back.
Yeah.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on the Mae Young Classic?
So far, so good. Yeah. I can't remember her name. The short black girl with the dreads, Lacey Lane.
Yeah.
I was definitely impressed with that match. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing her more.
That Kurgan girl is huge, bro.
Dog.
Vanessa
that's-
Craven? Or?
Yeah.
She-
Holy
Yes,
shit.
man. It's
That's
big
like
bro.
an Amazon woman, dude.
She's fighting your girl, man, Natasha. You see the
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
did see that. I was mad. I was mad
So
about
Devin's
that.
got a thing for the Russian.
Yeah, Lacey's incredible. I met her down in Mexico as well. She's done so much down for the Crash and everything. Like she is an incredible performer, and I think that it's cool, like having her be a part of it. The Mae Young is like I've only seen bits and pieces, but what I've seen has been good. I've seen like MJ Jenkins is actually my favorite.
I follow her on Instagram.
Maybe I'm biased, because she's come and trained at the House of Truth, and
Really?
yeah. So maybe I'm a bit biased, but I feel that she really has like that unique.
Oh yeah, she was
something.
definitely different. Like even when
yeah.
you watched her match, she just she had charisma from the minute she
And you
got
could see
going.
it in the wrestling school, man. She came in like from the jump. She was doing drills, and in between she was singing songs, and we're like, huh? But I think that she's really incredible, and like it's really cool to be able to see people that you've worked with, and you just see them getting that chance, to shine like on that international level. It's
Right.
super cool. So I think she's gonna kill it ultimately, down the road. But it's pretty tight to see. Like we were talking about,
Mercedes.
Mercedes and so much
You
of the
got
talent.
Rachel Ellering down there.
Rachel Ellering.
You
like,
got
Go ahead, name someone
homegrown,
MMA. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Allison K. Fool,
yeah,
Allison Kay, yeah.
who's
AKA Sienna.
right.
and
This
potential future guest of the show. Did I say that?
I don't know.
I do.
She'll probably be signed, so they can't
Pinkies
talk
up.
to us
I
anymore.
do, but
Well, since we're talking about women's wrestling, I'm gonna get this out, and then I'm gonna let you guys run.
Oh,
Is it about
the
Trish
show.
Stratus?
here we
No,
go.
no, it's not about Trish Stratus.
Wow.
He's got a big problem with Trish Stratus.
I don't want to talk about that anymore. But I want to get your thoughts on Ronda Rousey in the WWE.
My thoughts.
Yes. For someone that is trained, you've trained wrestlers before.
Sure.
You've put promotions on. You push people. I want to know your thoughts on Ronda Rousey, and once you share your thoughts, I'm gonna ask you about something that happened last night.
Well, to be clear, I've never trained fully. I've just been there during
Okay.
the training. I don't want to have people think that I'm some kind of a pro wrestling trainer.
Okay.
I'm involved with the school, but as I help.
Okay.
I don't take credit, in other words, for everyone's training. But I think that what Ronda's what she's been able to do, like she's a phenom. I think that again, it's a situation of WWE just really capitalizing on the popularity of somebody that was or is, like at the top of her game. She's obviously dominated her field, and that comes from just a lifelong of hard work. So why would anybody think that she's going to start into pro wrestling training and it be any different? Mm-hmm. I feel like she's throwing her all into it. I feel that for being so new, she's doing an incredible job. I really enjoy what she's been doing. I find some of the criticism to be harsh. And I think that, we've kind of talked about this before, but just coming from a performer's aspect, a lot of the criticism is often harsh, just in virtue that it has to be.
Right.
I mean, someone has to criticize something. And if you're going to criticize anything, it would be certainly that maybe she doesn't have as much experience in pro wrestling. So, I mean, it's like, okay, is that anything that anybody didn't know? But, I mean, again, I think she's doing a really good job because she's so – also that believability is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important. And there's no doubting that when she's got a limb, when she's got control, she will absolutely wreck whoever – she's in contact with. I think everybody can agree with that. So, and I think that's also part of the excitement too. In a way, it's almost like, I don't want to call her like a Brock Lesnar, but she's got the of like the ladies division. But it's like she's got this situation where it's like it's so palpable.
When she comes to the ring, it kind of reminds me of Stone Cold.
It's
like when Stone Cold was marching down to the ring. Somebody's about to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Like, you knew something was about to happen. When I see her watch, I'm like,
BMF walk, you call it a bad motherfucker walk. Yeah,
sure.
I know, it took me years to realize what that. I'm like, what is that? Oh, I get it.
Oh,
But
BMF.
Oh, that's what
somebody
he
said,
meant.
like, he's a bad one.
PG-13.
I'm like, really? He's like,
Oh, you can say whatever the fuck you want on this show.
No, I'm saying that back then, they couldn't spell the whole thing out.
I used to wear. I'm like, oh, I get it. But yeah, I wasn't a huge. I thought her debut was good. I think she has really gotten better each week, which has surprised me. Right. It hasn't been anything stagnant. She's working in the ring. She's working on the mic. Still has one facial expression.
Oh, it's two. It's smile and then I'm going to kill you.
But I still think Kurt Angle still has the greatest rookie season of all time.
Right.
But this is close.
Well, you know who is about to have the next one?
Who's that?
Mr. Riddle.
I would say Matt Riddle.
I can't wait.
King
to
of
see it.
Bros,
He's about to
man.
kill it. He's about
That's
to
my
kill it.
man's. That's my humans right there. We're
Adam
homies.
Cole had a good year.
Baby.
Well, he hasn't made it.
Yeah, but that's an NXT or though. I think they're talking about somebody who just comes onto the main.
Oh well. Yeah.
And even with
Basically
Riddle,
coming
though,
from outside of wrestling
Yeah.
into WWE.
That's
Well,
exactly
yeah.
it.
AJ Styles.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't, but he
Yeah.
was.
AJ
AJ Styles was a top professional
I was about
wrestler
to say, AJ
throughout the
already
world.
had a name.
What
Right.
we're referring to
Five
is
guy.
it's similar to, like, let's say a Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Going
it's
to
similar
boxing.
to jumping. You're jumping into a different thing, is what we're saying.
Right,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So she was the top of her thing. Riddle arguably, left on top. I mean, he left on a winning streak.
Oh yeah, he was on a 3-fight
and it was
streak.
only the weed.
Yeah.
And
Weed.
I think that listen,
Off the weed.
I think that eventually, people, NXT, WWE, I think they're on the right side of history here, because eventually it's going to come out that, hey, it's probably a good idea that for the wear and tear of an athlete's body, that the CBD and the medical marijuana is very effective and is actually something that will take away from somebody's opioid addictions, right?
Right.
So I think that, listen, whether or not you agree with it, you use it,
Right.
and I'm not saying that I do or don't, right? I'm
Right.
mysterious. Well, wow. But what I am saying is that, like, you look at a situation where Dana White went out of his way
Oh man.
Yeah.
to be a complete asshole
That
about
You
the
can stop right there,
situation,
but,
right? I mean, he
crazy
went out
part
of
of
his
it,
way.
too.
you seen that clip recently, haven't you?
Of course.
Oh man, that's great.
Crazy
And I just
part of
love
that,
that,
too is
you know?
that when he was on that win streak, it wasn't even like he was winning against like Joe Blow. Like he was winning against good names too, and he had a 3-fight win streak. And yep, you're out.
Well, he's talented.
Yeah.
And it's plain to see. But and I think that what he's been able to do, crossing over on the independents and taking these last couple of years to hone his craft. I mean, have you guys?
Yeah.
are you
Oh, yeah.
familiar
Yeah, we
with
saw
it?
him at
we saw
Evolve.
him.
He was coming on our show the
Yeah.
week before he got signed.
So one just really has to just take a look at like a clip, right, of what he can do to kind of see he's so unique.
Oh yeah.
To again bring a lot of that legitimacy, but still embracing the fun that is pro wrestling, and that's why I've always loved Kurt Angle and why he's always been such a hero to me as well, because he had that legitimacy that no one could doubt, but always embraced
The
the
entertainment
fun.
I heard he
And that's what
wrestled
it
once
is.
with a
It's
broken
fun.
freaking neck.
Oh, absolutely. You think? That's a story. I think that happened at
I
some
think
point.
that happened once.
It's true.
And like Kurt Angle,
It's
man,
damn true.
here he is, this 2-time Olympic gold medalist, taking really really serious, trained years to do that. And then next thing you know, you see him playing a ukulele with a little cowboy hat on, man. It's like the guy gets it, man.
He got it, man.
Kev, you got anything, man?
Man.
Kev's like, I'm just here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Kev.
Oh, man.
Wait,
Miss y'all.
wait, real quick, man. Since everybody's here, we got the two cows. We got Kev.
It's the original cast.
Yeah.
This is.
It is.
Fantastic. No, I ain't gonna say that. But we got the Devons, the Kevins, the Kyles, and the Kyles.
Well, you guys throw your social medias out there and anything you guys got going on. We'll let Mysterious Movado rest his voice for a second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ladies first.
Kev. Whoa.
You better fire back.
Man, I ain't got nothing to say right now.
What? But you got to at least say your social medias, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay. On Instagram and Twitter, it's _ May in the 80s. Yes.
That's
The same thing.
because
It's been a year and a half. Been a year and a half, man.
It's a year and a half.
About time.
On Facebook, it's Kevin D. Russ.
Look, dude, there's a reason that happened. I didn't just come up with that out of nowhere.
Right.
No, I tried looking. It was back when he was doing that. I wanted to tag him in something. I'm like, I text him like, "Hey, dude, did you delete your Instagram?" No, I changed my name. I'm like, you probably should let people know that. I'm like, so how are people gonna find you on the show? Oh no, they'll find me.
I'm very findable.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Team Chaos, and you can find me on Facebook, Kyle J. Campbell.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout, at Detroit NOKOUT, Twitter and Instagram. All
But
right.
why don't you spell it right?
It's that way on purpose because it's been my gamer tag since I was like 14.
My Chaos is KAYOS because
Man, y'all can't spell.
Hey, at least I did it on purpose.
So should
acknowledge-
Mysterious be like MIZTEE?
Hey, man, if that's what
Ms.
floats your
Teary?
A
boat,
random
bro.
P in there for no reason.
Wow.
the
Hey,
Prince
if that's
symbol.
what
Silent
floats
P.
your boat, bro.
Y'all humans is funny. You like spend all this money
Prince symbol.
on these books and like this education, and then when it comes down to it, we all spell everything wrong.
Hey, man.
I love
it gets
that.
done one way or the other.
Mr. Collison, we got any events coming up we need to talk about, man? I know.
Well, first of all, you can find us live and in living color September 22nd at the BCWA show. We're going to be doing a live show from there. And you also might be able to find us at a Clash show soon.
Ooh, divided we fall, maybe.
It just might be.
Maybe divided we fall, maybe.
And that's a great segue there, guy.
And I think we'll be showing up this Sunday.
We'll be at XICW as well, but we're
Masonic.
not going to be doing a live show there, though.
You sons of guns.
I'm just saying,
I mean, I'm down. XICW, if you're listening, we can do that. But
one
All
day.
right, I'll call the boss. Hold on.
Live.
DBA. All right. These fools here want to do a live podcast. What do you think?
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be dope, though.
Do it.
Oh, I'll talk to you later. All right. Well, he kind of started swearing.
He's got a tendency to do that.
He kind
but
of started some things. Anyway, I'll
We
let him
most
cool
definitely-
down.
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
We'll
We'll
most
smooth it out.
definitely be there. But Mysterious Movado, what about you, man? You know, I know you're all over the place, playing Detroit, Mexico.
Yeah.
What's on the ballot for you?
Just a lot of Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, a little bit of that.
You'll be there this weekend.
I
Right?
will be XICW. Yeah. It's gonna
Down
be
at the
a big-
Masonic,
At
correct?
the Masonic, big event. So looking forward to that. I'm not exactly sure the matchup yet,
Okay.
which is good because I like things mysterious.
Maybe it'll be Shark Boy.
It maybe could be, and we could
20 Thunder.
we'll wrestle fin for fin.
I was about to say you could like charge each other with
Yeah,
the fin.
I got this nice, sweet new little fin here on my mask.
So your hat is like a Sharks fan.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wait, can I make it?
Oh, man.
I don't know why, but Shark Boy might be my least favorite wrestler of all time.
This is more like an Ultraman fin, though.
I would say it's more
I would
Ultra-
think, yeah.
I'll go with that. That sounds better, anyways.
But why you got to diss on my man Shark Boy?
I don't-
Just because
I-
I pinned him in
I-
the ring,
I-
1, 2, 3.
Least,
I
your
never
least
liked
favorite.
I didn't like his TNA run.
I don't know any other.
I was about to say, it's
never
always
I'm
Right,
just
I
gonna
know
go
him
on a limb
from-
here and say the reason he doesn't like Shark Boy is because he totally bit off Stone Cold, though.
No,
not even that. It's not
no,
even
that
that.
had nothing to do
It's
with
not
it.
even that.
Like I just never liked Shark.
You guys know where that came from, right? I mean, that he was always popping the boys with that backstage.
What,
That's-
Stone Cold? Or?
Yeah. With doing his Stone Cold impression. So, like we'd be hanging out. I mean, we spent a lot of time together, like working with Juggalo Championship Wrestling and at the Gathering and stuff like that. And he would just be popping everybody with his Steve Austin impersonations. So that's where that came down from. So that was funny to like see all of a sudden he's doing it on TNA. It was like, what is this fool doing?
I was channel surfing once and I saw it. I'm like, nope. You know who Stone Cold impression is really good? Becky Lynch.
Really?
Okay.
Because basically she's Stone Cold
Gallows.
Steve.
Will
Austin.
Sasso's got a good
Gallows.
one.
Sasso's got the
Gallows.
best. Oh, by the way, people, I have to change my hat real quick.
I don't think it fits.
Had to put on my Movado hat.
Looking pretty slick, man.
Do you have any more of these, man?
I'm out. Sold
Oh,
out. That's
man.
limited edition.
Bam.
I think there was only 30 of
Really?
those made. And in
Nice.
terms of that color, there was
think that's
probably
real.
It's not bad.
maybe 8
Oh, I
of
know
the,
you
of
like
the
the
red
red.
ones. So
I'm glad I grabbed this while I did.
yeah. And that's the thing. So I like to say, like, just self-serving when I meet the humans at the events and we're talking about the hashtag mysterious merch booth. A lot of my items are really limited in number. I mean, I have them made through my Chalanga Mask company that makes my gear. I've wrestled for them down in Mexico. So like a lot of what's made is in small batches. It maybe only have a particular color. So it's kind of cool when you see people that have these items and then years later you're like, oh man, I don't have those anymore. That's totally cool that like they held on to that because I haven't seen it in a long while.
No, it's this guy that work with me. He has a bag full of Movado masks. I'm like, I looked at him earlier. I'm like, really?
Like, what?
Microphone.
Oh,
Microphone.
sorry.
This is a podcast.
You
Thank
tell
you,
him, Randy.
People
Wait,
need
But
to hear
he
you.
he had a bag full of your masks, and I was like,
How do you?
I said, you were a fan? He was like, yeah. He was like, every time I go, I buy a new mask. I said, well, okay, cool. I said, that's real.
I love that dude. He's my man's.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he just buy like a bag of them, or did he just buy them over time?
Yeah.
He was like, go in my bag, get a vest. I got a vest, and I was like, hey, that's Movado mask. He's like, yeah, you watch wrestling? I was like, yeah, I like wrestling.
He
was
didn't
like,
know already.
No, he didn't, because I ain't been there long. But he was like,
I mean, you only wear Bullet Club shirts. every day.
Exactly. I was about to say.
but he was like, yeah. He's like, every time I get the shit to go to the show, I go. I buy a mask every time I go. I said,
Wow,
oh.
man.
I said, cool.
That's
Wait.
good to hear. I like to hear that.
Will there be masks available this Sunday?
What I have right now are mini masks.
Oh, okay.
So they are miniature mask like keychains,
Okay.
and then I also have small like stuffed buddy keychains right now.
He said, teddy bear.
So I should have some new stickers and some coffee mugs in the next couple weeks. But I have to get some money together actually to get my
we
order
all?
for my replica masks because they've sold out unfortunately. So
Wow.
or fortunately.
Well,
That's
fortunately,
about-
I was
That's-
gonna
that's
say,
a problem
at
to
least they're
have.
Selling good,
Well,
man.
I believe Ken's bought them all your masks.
my man.
guys.
So any
Me
thoughts?
and
on
Movado been talking for 30 minutes, man. I think he's
thoughts
tired
on-
of hearing from
You
me.
guys already do Hell in a Cell and all that too.
Oh, we supposed to preview that?
I
Oh, I'm
didn't
sorry.
know if
Coming
you did or
up,
not.
you know.
It's
Oh, I
only
mean,
this
I'm
Sunday, but
I'm sorry. I didn't know we actually cared about that pay-per-view. They were too busy promoting Evolution and the Super Show. I didn't know they actually cared about Hell in a Cell. My bad. Super Show.
I gotta say,
You
one of the
wanna-
best visuals I've seen in a while was that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels
Yeah.
promo.
Oh, man.
Like, there are certain WWE images that will last like the test of time. Like seeing Taker, actually, bring it back to Hell in a Cell. Seeing Taker looking down at Mankind in the cell, seeing Mick, with the tooth hanging out of his nose. That visual of Undertaker just looking back at Shawn when they froze the camera. I'm like, that's what you end a promo package
Well-
on. Like that's gonna be an image that when they do Taker HBK 3, that's what I can see that being on a shirt.
Taker HBK3.
Oh, they're gonna do that.
but I mean that brings up a good question in and of itself. What do you guys think about them putting Mick Foley in the Roman Reigns match?
He
I
looked
think it was doing too
old.
much.
He looked old.
Come on, guys.
He looked
Damn.
I
You
love-
know
I
I
love-
got a
I love-
wrestler in here.
motherfuckers, man.
I love Mick Foley, but he don't need to be in the match.
Dog, why are you being a hater?
I'm not
I
being a
like
hater.
it.
I'm not being a hater. What are you gonna do? Take the bump?
Well, he probably looks old because he is old.
No, that's like you see somebody and like, oh, they don't look their age. He's looked old.
He
Like,
just did-
I don't
he
want to
just
see.
did
I don't
the
want to
Cage
see him
again.
in there. I don't want to see him.
And
in
he
there.
did all of that. He looks old because of what he gave for you.
I was about
I
to
loved
say
it.
he like busted his ass and got the hell beat out of him.
Honestly,
So-
I watch that match at least once a year.
You have to.
as well. You
And it's a
said.
20-year anniversary.
So what do you?
Yeah.
We got your thoughts, Movado. What are your thoughts on him being in the Hell in a Cell match with Roman Reigns and Strowman?
Listen, whatever's good for business, man. It's cool for me. You know what I mean?
I think
Best for business.
I think it's a cool touch, though, man. You
Yeah.
know he's gonna. Obviously, that means somehow something's gonna happen with him. But I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what that is.
He's coming up the
It
cage
it
again.
creates like an X factor. You know,
Oh yeah, because
you
you know something in the
Yeah.
match somewhere is gonna have something to
It's
do with.
Strowman.
it.
everyone's gonna be
It's-
on the edge of their seat.
Strowman's in the match.
We will-
Something
we will
is
see.
going
Strowman's
to
gonna-
happen.
Strowman's gonna toss his ass through the side of the cage now.
No,
They don't want
he's
him to
gonna
go
put
off
him
the
through the
top.
ring.
Well, in a way too, it's kind of a way to, you know, I mean, Strowman's been really on this heavy, you know, big.
Yeah.
So it's another way to kind of, I don't know about like pass the torch, but like, you know, give him an additional like rub, you know, an additional highlight, you know, that will really help him to just move up on the card permanently, I think.
Can we talk about the match that I don't understand?
Which is that
Why is there a Hell in a Cell match between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy?
for the 4th time. Which is that?
Didn't you see the
because-
meme with his ear and he pulled it, he put his finger in his stinky ear hole and he was like stretching it?
Well,
and all
it's,
that?
That's the
I think-
only
I
thing
think
I
it's better
can-
than trying to shake his hand.
I
But
That
think,
was
I think
like
the
a-
only reason why they have this match is because Jeff Hardy's never had a Hell in a Cell match and he wants one.
he's gonna jump off the top of the cage.
Well, maybe
That's what he said that when he came back to WWE, that is one of his goals is to do a swanton bomb off the top of a cell.
so Shinsuke doesn't interfere.
Into
And
what, a
blow him.
table on the outside, you
And
mean?
blow him.
Yeah.
Anything.
Because, I mean, it's covered, so you're not going to do it in the ring.
he's gonna
so.
do something. It's Jeff and I'm like,
Mick Foley
he's gonna
already
do
did
something.
the swanton off of the cage. That's the
Shane
thing.
did
Like,
Shane
Wait,
McMahon.
you know what I just realized? Until you just said that, like, I almost forgot Shinsuke was in WWE, man.
What?
Like,
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
like, seriously, like, I have not thought about Shinsuke since.
Remember Mike
don't know.
Bennett?
NXT.
Remember
Mike
Ty
Bennett.
Dillinger?
Hold on, who's Mike Bennett?
I'm sorry, Mike Canelo.
Okay.
Same difference. You don't see either one of
he
their
just
asses.
had a hell of a match with Rhino at the SmackDown
Yeah.
taping.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and on
Were you there?
main event.
I wasn't there, but listen, I got friends.
I
there.
know.
I
I
know.
got you.
And the main event.
Remember Heath Slater?
Who?
Oh my
I
god.
think he has kids.
Slaters are going to slate.
And shout out to the NXT crew that was just here this past Sunday,
That
man.
was
And,
dope.
we ran into one of your buddies, man. Well, we didn't have a conversation with him, but Truth Martini was outside, you know, chilling too, man.
Knockouts in 3 counts. Hello. This is Truth Martini. You're listening to the Knockouts in 3 Counts podcast.
The sad part is that sounds
Oh man,
so much
please
like
take
him.
that audio, man. We are using that.
That totally sounds like that, dude.
Randy's not listening.
Hey, Randy, how much time do we have?
I don't know.
He's gonna say like 3 minutes. Watch.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right.
Randy.
The truth ever hit you with that book.
Love you, Randy.
All right, we really don't have time to run through the whole card, but Kev,
Yeah.
what's the match on the Hell in a Cell card that you're looking forward to, sir? Other than the ones we've talked about.
None of.
Damn, dog.
So how do you
I'm so
really?
serious. I'm so. I'm
you
not.
are.
I don't
You
care.
turned into
I
a
don't
hating
care.
ass motherfucker.
But no, I don't blame them because like it seems like they're promoting the Super Show and Evolution more than they are the Hell in a Cell.
I'm more interested in seeing what Elias is gonna do. No, he ain't got no match. I just want to see what he gonna do.
They're gonna send him out there with his guitar. He's gonna troll the audience. Somebody's gonna come out and interrupt him, and they're gonna have a 2-minute match, and he's gonna lose.
He might win.
That's what he does.
He might win.
All right, Mr. Campbell, what's the match on this card that you're looking forward to, man?
Actually, Strowman Roman match. You know,
Really?
we talking about. You know, we've done it. We've just said fuck it. Roman's the champion. We have a champion every week now. Roman's the face of the company. He is the champion.
And the shield's back.
The Shield's back. You had to bring them back because, you know, God forbid Roman get over by itself. But now we got it. Let's just barrel through it. Let's just go. Let's just let him knock down every challenger. Let's just have Hogan, you know, Cena 2.0. Let's just go. Let's
I'm
just
having-
go.
I'm
Let's
having a
just
hard
go.
time the way they booking Strowman right now.
Bro, we don't have time to get into it.
I'm having a hard time.
It's
Me,
The face should be the heel, and the heel should be the face.
It's bothering me too. Movado, are you gonna watch? Oh no, you're gonna be wrestling this.
Listen, I'm going to be busy, guys, but I will. You know, I'll keep up with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be reading about it, man. I got to keep my finger on the pulse.
the network is $9.99.
Someone told me that it's $9.99.
Maybe once or twice.
Mr. Collison, we'll let you have the last word about Hell in a Cell, and then we'll do our outros, man. What's the match on this card that you're looking forward to, man?
I'm excited for Strowman and Roman, but I also
Say Samoa Joe versus
Wendy.
I like that one too. I didn't.
That's straight up from the NWA
Yeah.
TNA Wednesday days.
I didn't even think of that, but I was like, yeah, dude, I'm excited for that match too.
How sad is that we didn't even think about the WWE Championship match? How sad is
That's
that?
usually because it only goes on
look,
fifth in the card.
I'm just
It's
gonna
like a
take-
main
I'm
events anything anymore.
I didn't because I haven't watched SmackDown in like a month.
Wow.
Hey, man, like that is true though, man. I've been saying that for the WWE title for a while, but the other match, I mean, I'm a big fan of the whole Charlotte Becky thing. In that,
Stone
I
Cold
know
Becky.
that's going to be a good match, but at the same time, I
Say
feel
it.
like that match should have been in a Hell in a Cell.
I agree.
I feel like that match should have been in a Hell
Do the
in a
ladies
Cell.
have a cell match?
Yeah.
No,
Char-
no.
not on this one. I thought should have. that.
Last year.
Okay.
I'm proud of you, Kyle. I thought you were gonna say Ronda versus Alexa because hashtag
It's
MMA.
MMA.
But Mysterious Movado, do you have any last words for our?
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
You're always welcome.
Always big supporters. I love what you guys do here and love seeing you at the shows as well. So definitely look forward
Well,
to that.
hopefully you'll see us more
Yeah.
often here coming up.
And hopefully see everybody this Sunday at the Masonic for XICW Attack at the Masonic. It's going to be a huge event. So just really looking forward to bringing the mystification to the humans.
Yeah.
All right. Any more bookings you want to talk about?
Oh, man, we covered them earlier, brah.
Okay, all
We
right,
covered them earlier, man. I can't take up all y'all time with that.
You guys should have been here. You would have heard them.
I was watching.
Ooh.
Well, some
We
of us
watch it
were
too.
thinking about our fellow co-hosts, and we're picking them up so they could get here.
Right.
Damn, he put your business all out in the fucking street.
He just puts himself over.
You know what? I just thought of
Ain't
another.
that the object here?
Next time, pick him up earlier.
Ooh.
He said you drive like a
How
bitch.
often am I here late, and how often is he here late?
See, that's the true.
Yeah, I don't even know why you bothered showing up.
Fuck you. That's the true epitome of a hater when somebody gets them and then they put it on somebody else.
Hey, I'm just saying, my
Me
track
being late
record
is a
speaks
private
for
thing.
itself.
That's
I'm
deflection.
always here.
Hey,
though.
Kevin, why don't you throw out your social media to the people?
On Instagram.
Slide into them DMs, yo.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Wait.
No, you don't.
I'm not saying he's married. I just know somebody to be really, really mad if they slid into his DMs. That's all I'm going to say.
I ain't gonna be the one responding.
Who the fuck is
But
Kevin?
No, but seriously, slide into those DMs.
on Instagram and Twitter,
You think she don't watch this?
made in the 80s. I ain't gonna change it no time soon.
I
It's
don't
gonna be
like
that.
him no more.
And on
On
Facebook?
Facebook is Kevin D. Wrestling. Also, subscribe to the Wrestling Reality Air
Can you
page.
spit it out? Reality Air News,
Reality
dog.
Air. Yeah. Reality Air News.
He's hoping.
You better
Susie
not
watches.
ever diss anyone on their promos. With that marble mouth right there. Come on.
Shots
now.
fired. The mysterious
Come
one
on
has
now.
spoken.
Mr. Collison, why don't you go ahead and throw your social medias and all that good stuff out there, people?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout, at Detroit NOKOUT.
not how you spell it.
Be sure to come out and check us out. That's how I spell it, bitch. My own spelling.
You're not supposed to call people bitch.
Bitch.
Well, if the shoe, if the shoe fits, I mean, hey. But
shoe
yeah,
fits.
That's an inside joke.
but yeah, you'll be looking for us at BCWA. Be there. We're gonna try to get something going with Clash soon, and be sure to check out TXC this month too, man. We won't be able to be there because we'll be at BCWA show, but you got plenty of good fights for all our MMA fans. And next month, be looking out for Lights Out Championship that's going to be starting, and it'll be at the Deltaplex. They'll probably sell out. They've already got some great fights, and we'll have some of those guys on the show too. So be
Hell
on the
yeah.
lookout. A lot of shit.
Mr. Campbell.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Team Chaos, KAYOS. And then you can find me on Facebook, Kyle J. Campbell.
All right. And I am Devin McKenzie. You can find me on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHE63. You can find me on Instagram at All Steak No Sizzle. That's one word. Once again, make sure you check out the Reality Era News page on Facebook where we talk wrestling. If you're looking for a car, I forgot to do this earlier. If you're looking for a car, it'll be the perfect time because I wouldn't have got interrupted. If you're looking for a car, make sure you check out SouthfieldQualityCars.com. Once you find the vehicle you would like to purchase, go to Southfield Quality Cars and use the reference code 193009.
Take your headphones off, 'cause Kyle's gonna yell
Shut
that
the
shit
fuck
like
up,
a fucking
Kyle.
hillbilly.
That is 19309, and you will receive $500 off on your purchase. What?
He beat me too.
He turned on the wrong mic.
All of them.
I turned off all the mics.
Oh,
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, fuck your couch. We're
Yeah.
out.
With all that being said, people check us out next time. Hashtag fuck that bitch. Peace.
Me too.
I did.
I did. It was fast.
Yeah, dude, we were trying to make some things happen while we were there. Did you see 75?